Datta, Sri Guru Datta, Jai Guru 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 Datta, Sri Guru Datta.
Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Shri Saraswatyaya Namaha, Shri Padavallabha Narasimha Saraswati, Shri Guru Dattatreya Namaha, Shri Ganapati Satchidananda Sadgurubhyo Namo Namaha, Harihi Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namo Hanumate Namaha. Jai Guru Datta and welcome to Datta Arpnam with your hosts Rishi Nirvan Balrup
and Ravita Singh. Jaya Guru Datta, Swagatam, and thank you for tuning in to Datta Arpnam, a showcase of the life, music and teachings of His Holiness Parama Pujya Dr. Shri 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 Ganapati Satchidananda Swamiji of Avadhuta Dattapitam in Mysuru. Today's program begins with the offering of pranams, gratitude and this invocation prayer at the sacred feet of beloved Sadgurudeva Pujya Shri Swamiji, as this program, possible only through His divine grace, is offered to him. Please join His second in command, Pujya Shri 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 Datta Vijayananda Tirtha Swamiji, now in worship.
श्री गणेशाय नमः, श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः, श्री पादवल्लभ नरसिंह सरस्वती, श्री गुरुदत्तात्रेयाय नमः, श्री गणपति सच्चिदानंद सद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः, गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म, तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। श्रीभूयुत श्रीहरिचिह्निताभ्याम् अगस्त्यरेखादिभिरञ्चिताभ्याम् निगूढबीजाक्षरमुद्रिताभ्याम् नमो नमः सद्गुरुपादुकाभ्याम्। गणपति गुरुमेकं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं, विबुधनिवहसेव्यं योगमार्गाधिरूढं, शरणमुपगतानामार्तिसङ्घाद्रिवज्रं मम हृदयनिवासं भक्तिनम्रो नमामि, भक्तिनम्रो नमामि।
Once again everyone, Swagatam, and thank you for tuning in to this morning's episode of Datta Arpnam. Today's program is being brought to you through the kind courtesy of Ramlal Educational Institute of number 12 Exchange Lots Couva, Valini's Drug Mart Limited of 58 to 60 Sutton Street, San Fernando, Debe Supermart Limited of 182 SS Erin Road, Debe, and Koke Supermart Limited of 14 Naparima Miaro Road, San Fernando.
We hope that you have been and will continue to tune in to the Vriksha Yagam live streams, which are coming to you every day on the Avadhuta Dattapitam Facebook page. And you know, this Vriksha Yagam, it is the vision of Pujya Sri Swamiji. But who is Pujya Sri Swamiji? Well, you just heard recently on Datta Arpnam that he is none other than Lord Dattatreya. So, while the yagam may be a one-of-a-kind yagam, is it any wonder that Ganapati Swamiji, the avatara of the aspect of Lord Dattatreya, would be hosting a Vriksha Yagam? After all, are we not used to seeing images of Lord Dattatreya standing in front of that Kalpa Vriksha or that wish-fulfilling tree? And with mentioning Pujya Appaji and Lord Dattatreya in the same breath, the mind goes to one of Pujya Sri Swamiji's publications, a publication or book by the name of Sri Datta Darshanam. Ganapati Swamiji or Pujya Appaji has published many books which are more than mere books, but they are compasses which show us the direction to follow to successfully cross the ocean of samsara. In other words, when we follow what Pujya Appaji teaches in these books, we become equipped to end the cycle of birth and death. And what is that state when that cycle ends? It is moksha or liberation.
Bearing in mind this immense power which is contained within Pujya Appaji's publications, today you will hear a short excerpt from the book Sri Datta Darshanam.
Listeners, everyone should read Sri Datta Darshanam. First of all, it is very easy to read as it is mostly told in the form of stories.
Secondly, Appaji has instructed that everyone should read this book.
And last but not least, as you heard earlier, books written by Pujya Appaji are not just bedtime reading material. These books, despite their apparent simplicity, hold important keys to attaining moksha.
And that is why, today, on the heels of having celebrated Pujya Appaji's Avatara anniversary over the past 5 weeks, it felt like that celebration could not quite come to an end without looking at least one story from Sri Datta Darshanam.
So everyone, get comfortable and prepare yourself for a beautiful hour of devotion here on Datta Arpanam, starting with a Lord Ganapati Bhajan. Please open the Bhajan Mala app or visit the website www.bhajanmala.com, enter Bhajan ID number 62 and join in singing the Pallavi, the first and the final charanams of this bhajan.
Gणपतये नमो नमो गणपतये नमो नमो गणपतये नमो नमो गणपतये कोटि प्रभावते तेजो मंडल वपुष्मते ते भास्करकोटि प्रभावते तेजो मण्डल वपुष्मते सुन्दरशुण्ड मुखायते लम्बमहोदर कृपामते सुन्दरशुण्ड मुखायते लम्बमहोदर कृपामते नमो नमो गणपतये नमो नमो गणपतये त्वमकाले दैत्योद्विग्नान् पाहि विभो साधुं देवान् त्वमकाले दैत्योद्विग्नान् पाहि विभो ध्यातृभ्योऽपि च भक्तेभ्यः सच्चिदानन्द प्रदो भव ध्यातृभ्योऽपि च भक्तेभ्यः सच्चिदानन्द प्रदो भव सच्चिदानन्द प्रदो भव नमो नमो गणपतये नमो नमो गणपतये नमो नमो गणपतये
In the Pallavi of that bhajan, the word Namaha or Namo is sung twice. Ganapati Swamiji has said that when we chant that word, we should feel like Jivatma and Paramatma are one and the same. In other words, the individual soul and the Supreme Soul are not in fact two entities, but they are one and the same. One word, such depth. Such depth is what we have come to associate with the bhajan compositions of Pujya Appaji.
You were just listening to Pujya Appaji here on Datta Arpnam. Thank you for tuning in to today's offering, which is coming to you on 103.1 FM through His Grace, and thanks to the sponsorship by Ramlal Educational Institute, Debe Supermart Limited, Valini's Drug Mart Limited, and Kokie Supermart Limited. Today, as you heard earlier, you will hear a short story taken from Pujya Appaji's publication, Sri Datta Darshanam. The story is one which was told by Guru Brahaspati to his disciple, Lord Indra.
Kushavarta was a place of pilgrimage. Many learned Brahmins lived there and would spend their time discussing Vedas and Vedangas. However, because of some sin previously committed, one of those Brahmins begot a son who was afflicted with acute gout from birth itself.
And for those of you who are not familiar with what gout is, it is a form of arthritis in which crystals, known as uric acid crystals, get deposited in the joints, causing red, hot, swollen joints which are very painful during a flare-up. In mild cases, sometimes simply following a diet which is low in a compound called purine can help to keep the condition under control. But in some cases, the disease is much more severe and persistent. This was the case for this young Brahmin child. His gout worsened as he got older.
Despite his worsening gout, the parents of that Brahmin child performed his marriage while he was still very young. Back in those days, child marriages were often arranged, and this was one such marriage. That young Brahmin boy, who had not even reached a marriageable age, was married to a young and completely innocent girl named Sumedha.
While this couple was still very young, both of the Brahmin boy's parents passed away. By that time, the Brahmin boy, already suffering from acute gout, developed edema or dropsy. a condition in which there is swelling due to an internal buildup of fluid. On top of that, he then developed tuberculosis or TB.
The young Brahmin boy was now in an awful state. With his parents being no more, there was no one to care for him now other than Sumedha.
Sumedha was still a young girl, a girl who should have been enjoying a carefree life. But despite her age, what a lesson she teaches us in the qualities of a virtuous wife. In order to serve and thus save her husband, Sumedha left her parents' house and went to her husband to look after him. She looked after him the way the eyelid looks after the well-being of the eye. The entire town was astonished to see the young Sumedha doing the work of both husband and wife and serving her husband as if she were his own mother.
Unfortunately, though, the severity of that husband's diseases increased day by day. And as if the diseases from which he was already suffering were not enough, he also developed dysentery, an infection of the gut which results in diarrhea and vomiting and can lead to dehydration.
The young Brahmin boy also developed heart problems, which can happen when gout is left untreated. Even though it is primarily a disease of the joints of the body, if untreated, the same uric acid crystals which destroy the joints in gout, those same crystals can get deposited in the heart, causing heart disease. So before we go on with the story, this is a note to everyone out there who is suffering from gout. Be sure to follow a gout diet.
And if you're not sure what that means in terms of what you can and cannot eat, well, here are just a few examples. Avoid eating meat or fish and do not eat fatty foods. Stay clear of alcohol and definitely read labels when you buy foods. High fructose corn syrup can certainly send your uric acid levels up. So avoid processed foods in general, yes, but definitely avoid foods or drinks with high fructose corn syrup, including candy and sweetened soft drinks or sodas.
So you just got a list of don'ts. So now what about the do's? Well, do drink a lot of water, do eat low-fat foods, and either go dairy-free or choose low-fat milk if you are having dairy. Eat more whole grains, fruits and vegetables, and exercise regularly, since being overweight can be an aggravating factor in gout.
And if this alone is not keeping your gout under control and your doctor recommends preventative treatment which you must take daily, listen to your doctor.
But now, getting back to today's story. The Brahmin boy was now suffering from gout which had been worsening since birth. He had dysentery, he had TB, and he also had heart problems. Sadly though, while in his case many different types of treatments were administered, they all proved futile.
Desperately seeking an improvement in her husband's health, Sumedha would perform whatever rituals anyone suggested. While wives of her age were moving about joyously with their husbands, this poor girl was nursing her husband day and night. Her own body was becoming emaciated or so thin as at any point in time she was subjecting herself to some new discipline or the other.
Sumedha worshipped every deity and observed all sorts of religious vows. She observed fasts as well, but despite all of these, her husband's health did not improve, not even slightly.
What will become of Sumedha and her sick husband? Well, stay tuned in to Datta Arpnam to find out. But first, having heard of the nurturing nature of the young girl Sumedha, let us worship the Supreme Mother who nurtures and nourishes us all. Let us worship Goddess Parvati as Annapurna Devi. Please everyone open the Bhajanmala app or website to Bhajan ID number 334 and join in offering this bhajan to Goddess Annapurna.
अन्नपूर्णे सदा पूर्णे शंकर प्राणवल्लभे भिक्षां देहि च पार्वती
अन्नपूर्णा ज्ञानपूर्णा सा ददातु मे धियमुदीर्णा 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 जयतु पावना जयतु शोभना जयतु पावना जयतु शोभना जयतु निस्तुला जयतु निश्चला जयतु निस्तुला जयतु निश्चला जयतु पावना जयतु शोभना जयतु पावना जयतु शोभना जयतु निस्तुला जयतु निश्चला जयतु निस्तुला जयतु निश्चला अन्नपूर्णा ज्ञानपूर्णा सा ददातु मे धियमुदीर्णा अन्नपूर्णा ज्ञानपूर्णा सा ददातु मे धियमुदीर्णा अन्नपूर्णा ज्ञानपूर्णा सा ददातु मे धियमुदीर्णा स्वापराधनी मोक्षतत्परा स्वापराधनी मोक्षतत्परा अन्नदानस दीक्षिता परा अन्नदानस दीक्षिता परा व्यासगर्वणी वासनिष्ठुरा व्यासगर्वणी वासनिष्ठुरा सचिदानंद श्री नित्यभासुरा सचिदानंद श्री नित्यभासुरा अन्नपूर्णा ज्ञानपूर्णा सा ददातु मे धियमुदीर्णा अन्नपूर्णा ज्ञानपूर्णा सा ददातु मे धियमुदीर्णा अन्नपूर्णा ज्ञानपूर्णा सा ददातु मे धियमुदीर्णा अन्नपूर्णा ज्ञानपूर्णा सा ददातु मे धियमुदीर्णा
In that bhajan which praised goddess Annapurna, that mother is worshipped as one who is devoted to feeding others. But she is also worshipped as the giver of righteousness. This really is food for thought, no pun intended, because it shows us that yes, while Annapurna Devi, the goddess of nourishment, blesses us with food or sustenance, she also blesses us with the even more sustainable food, righteousness.
You are listening to Datta Arpnam on 103.1 FM. Thank you for tuning in to today's offering, which is coming to you on 103.1 FM through the grace of Ganapati Swamiji, and thanks to the sponsorship by Ramlal Educational Institute, Debe Supermart Limited, Valini's Drug Mart Limited, and Koke Supermart Limited. Today, you've been hearing the story of how Sumedha, who was married at a very young age, gave her all in caring for her also very young but very ill husband. But no matter what treatments were tried or what worship Sumedha did, her husband's condition did not improve.
Then, one day, Sumedha learnt of Vishnu Datta's powers. Vishnu Datta was an ardent devotee of Lord Dattatreya. The Lord had subjected him to many tests, yet that devotee's and his wife's dedication to and love for the Lord never faltered. As a result, Lord Dattatreya had granted Vishnu Datta many boons. Sumedha, who had heard about Lord Datta's greatness earlier, now learning about Vishnu Datta and his powers, hoped that he might be able to do something for her husband.
Even though she wanted to take the patient to Vishnu Datta, that patient, Sumedha's husband, was in no position to move. Undeterred in her efforts to seek help from Vishnu Datta, Sumedha sought assistance from her father, and so he went with her to meet Vishnu Datta.
When Sumedha saw Vishnu Datta, she was deeply impressed and moved by how loving and compassionate he was. And listeners, before we go on, these are hallmarks of a true devotee. Vishnu Datta was not considered a great devotee of the Lord just because of his love and dedication to the Lord, but he also had love and compassion for others as well. When Pujya Appaji, when Guru Brahaspati, when they relay things like Sumedha being moved by Vishnu Datta's love and compassion towards this child he had never before met, it is not just to add description to the story, but it is to teach us a lesson. Vishnu Datta was a devotee of the Lord. A devotee of the Lord is loving and compassionate towards all. Seeing that compassionate and loving Vishnu Datta, Sumedha covered her face with the open end of her sari, and, opening out her heart to him, she sobbed loudly.
Vishnu Datta could see both the past and the future. His heart melted with compassion when he saw Sumedha. But still, following the usual worldly way of doing things, he asked her about her problem and, encouraging her, asked, "Why should we fear when Lord Dattatreya is with us?"
Why should we fear when Lord Dattatreya is with us? Listeners, what powerful and empowering words these are. Lord Dattatreya is Matragami, as we hear in Dattastavam. That word means that Lord appears the instant we think of him or call out to him. The only reason we do not realize this is because our ego acts as a curtain blocking our view. Let us worship such a Lord now as we once again join in Divya Nama Sankirtanam. Please open the Bhajan Mala app or website to Bhajan ID number 85 and join in singing this bhajan, a miniature summary of Sri Datta Darshanam, which, though short, is huge in the Vedanta contained within it. Once again, the Bhajan ID number is 85.
भगवान तुम्ही हो जीव राशि के प्राण तुम्ही हो जीव राशि के प्राण तुम्ही हो जीव राशि के प्राण तुम्ही हो भक्तों के भगवान तुम्ही हो जीव राशि के प्राण तुम्ही हो भक्तों के भगवान तुम्ही हो जीव राशि के प्राण तुम्ही राशि के प्राण तुम्ही हो जीव राशि के प्राण तुम्ही हो भक्तों के भगवान तुम्ही हो परशुराम के बने सहारे, परशुराम के बने सहारे।
साधु संत की शान तुम्हें हो,
साधु संत की शान तुम्हें हो,
साधु संत की शान तुम्हें हो।
साधु संत की शान तुम्हें हो, भक्तों के भगवान तुम्हें हो, जीव राशि के प्राण तुम्हें हो।
अगेन
अत्रि अनसूया के प्यारे, अत्रि अनसूया के
प्यारे,
अनघा की आंखों के तारे, अनघा की आंखों के तारे। अत्रि अनसूया के प्यारे,
अत्रि अनसूया के प्यारे,
अनघा की आंखों के तारे,
अनघा की आंखों के तारे।
परशुराम के
बने सहारे,
परशुराम के बने सहारे, परशुराम के बने सहारे।
परशुराम के बने सहारे। साधु संत की शान तुम्हें हो,
साधु संत की शान तुम्हें हो, साधु संत की शान तुम्हें हो, साधु संत की शान तुम्हें हो। भक्तों के भगवान तुम्हें हो, जीव राशि के प्राण तुम्हें हो। भक्तों के भगवान तुम्हें हो, जीव राशि के प्राण तुम्हें हो।
जीवन मुक्ति के हो दाता,
जीवन मुक्ति के हो दाता,
जीवन मुक्ति के हो दाता।
जीवन मुक्ति के हो दाता।
विष्णु दत्त को मंत्र प्रदाता,
विष्णु दत्त को मंत्र प्रदाता,
विष्णु दत्त को मंत्र प्रदाता।
विष्णु दत्त को मंत्र प्रदाता।
कार्तवीर्य के भाग्य विधाता,
कार्तवीर्य के भाग्य विधाता,
कार्तवीर्य के भाग्य
विधाता, कार्तवीर्य के भाग्य विधाता। सच्चिदानंद वरदान तुम्हें हो, सच्चिदानंद वरदान तुम्हें हो, सच्चिदानंद वरदान तुम्हें हो, सच्चिदानंद वरदान तुम्हें हो। भक्तों के भगवान तुम्हें हो, जीव राशि के प्राण तुम्हें हो। भक्तों के भगवान तुम्हें हो, जीव राशि के प्राण तुम्हें हो।
भक्तों के भगवान
तुम्हें हो, जीव राशि के प्राण तुम्हें हो।
जीव राशि के
प्राण तुम्हें हो, जीव राशि के
प्राण तुम्हें हो।
प्राण तुम्हें हो।
That bhajan, composed and rendered by Ganapati Swamiji, was set the Kara Hara Priya Ragam. It is a Hindi bhajan, and as it happens, in Hindi, the word Kara Hara means husband. Many of you would already know that the word Priya means dear or dear to. How beautifully Datta Prabhu Pujya Appaji coordinates things that not only is that bhajan like a miniature version of Sri Datta Darshanam, the text being studied today, but also it is being shared on a day when we are talking about the one whose husband was very dear to her, Sumedha. When we say that nothing happens by chance, this is an example of what is meant by that. At every stage, Datta Prabhu Pujya Appaji's hand in coordinating Datta Arpnam is so very palpable. Pranams Pujya Appaji.
Pranams to Sadguru Deva Parama Pujya Sri Swamiji. It is by his grace and thanks to the sponsorship by Ramlal Educational Institute, Debe Supermart Limited, Valini's Drug Mart Limited and Kokie Supermart Limited that Datta Arpanam is coming to you today on 103.1 FM.
Today you have been hearing how Sumedha, the dedicated yet young wife of a young yet very ill Brahmin boy, went to the great devotee Vishnu Datta to seek his help for her husband. Since her husband was too ill to accompany her, she and her father went to meet Vishnu Datta. The kind and compassionate Vishnu Datta then accompanied Sumedha and her father back to Kushavarta so that he could meet Sumedha's husband.
By the time the trio arrived back at Kushavarta, Sumedha's husband, now suffering from typhoid fever, was lying unconscious as a result of how high his fever was. There was no response from him when his name was called.
Sumedha was heartbroken on seeing her husband in that state. Rolling on the ground and crying loudly as if she were possessed, she caught a hold of Vishnu Datta's feet and pleaded with him, saying, "Oh, Uncle Vishnu Datta, I beg for your kindness. Please save my husband's life."
Even though he felt sorry for Sumedha and her husband, Vishnu Datta thought to himself that, with the divine powers granted by Lord Dattatreya, sure, he could cure Sumedha's husband of all his diseases in an instant. But if he did that, then nothing worthwhile would really be achieved. Sure, the husband would live, but that would be all. Of what use would that be?
He should live and become virtuous, thought Vishnu Datta while looking at Sumedha's husband. He should not once again commit the sins which he committed in previous births. Not only that, but he must also advance spiritually. To achieve that, he must develop belief in the virtuous deeds recommended by the scriptures. If he performs expiatory atonement in accordance with the scriptures, then all his former sins will be destroyed and his diseases will be cured. He will realize that by observing rituals, spiritual merit accrues or builds up and real happiness can be attained.
Vishnu Datta, still thinking things through, felt that if Sumedha's husband atoned for his sins and realized that spiritual practices can bring true happiness, then he, Sumedha's husband, would follow the scriptures for the rest of his life and eventually reap the benefits of a long life.
Without this, thought Vishnu Datta, does it make sense for me to exhibit my powers to win name and fame? That is not the way to do things, he thought. Instead, I can perhaps secretly use my powers to ensure that the good deeds that he performs bear fruit soon, instantly even. This is the only proper way to act in this situation.
Having come to this conclusion, Vishnu Datta lifted Sumedha from the floor and said in a serious tone, "Child, what is the use of crying? Don't cry, listen to me." And listeners, we encourage you too to listen to these words of wisdom which were then spoken by Vishnu Datta. Experiencing the fruits of past actions cannot be avoided, he said. It is the same for me, it is the same for you. It is even the same for Lord Brahma. Who can change it? The scriptures say that sins committed in previous births manifest themselves in the form of diseases and torment in present lives. But, continued Vishnu Datta, there are atonements, but these must be performed scrupulously. Tuberculosis is caused by slaying a Brahmin, he said. To expiate this sin, a ritual has to be performed with great dedication for 12 years. Your father and the others here are all scholars. There's a book which deals with the consequences or results of any action, either in this birth or in a former birth. I wonder whether you can do what it says, said Vishnu Datta to Sumedha.
Like an arrow, Sumedha shot her answer even before Vishnu Datta completed his speech. "If you ask me to jump into the fire, I shall do so," she said. "Just save my husband. I will do anything that is needed." And listeners, what dedication to duty we learn from Sumedha here. She does not even know yet what she will be expected to do, but she is willing to do whatever it takes to help her spouse. And I deliberately use the word spouse instead of husband here because both husband and wife should have this degree of dedication to the well-being of their family.
Vishnu Datta was pleased. Mentally thinking of the Lord, he called the patient casually as if he was talking to him.
Sumedha's husband opened his eyes slowly and responded very feebly. By that time, all the elders of the village had gathered at the home of Sumedha and her husband. Seeing the husband regain consciousness, they were all filled with happiness.
Vishnu Datta then advised them on which atonement practices they should perform as indicated by the Shastras. One was a religious observance for 12 years, and this was to address the disease caused by killing a Brahmin.
Another 12 years observance was prescribed to treat the edema or dropsy which was caused by sins against Lord Vishnu.
A 6-year ritual was recommended for the patient's gastric ulcer.
And a 3-year-long observance was recommended for the fistulas and skin ulcers.
After specifying these things, Vishnu Datta gave special individual initiations to Sumedha. As the rituals commenced, the corresponding diseases started abating.
And as the diseases abated and his health started improving, the Brahmin youth also began to participate in these observances, at least as best as he could.
By the time half of the observances were completed, all of the diseases were cured completely. Seeing this, the couple completed the remaining observances with doubled faith.
And listeners, how important a lesson that is for us. Sometimes we are told to engage in some religious practice to help us out of a difficult situation or to help us to succeed at something. And God or Guru, out of their abundance of compassion, bring us relief or bring us success even sooner than we expected. But instead of honoring our initial commitment or instead of completing the vratam out of at least a sense of gratitude, we abandon it. Remember what you heard earlier today. Disease now is the result of past actions. When we feel better in this lifetime without doing the full atonement practices, then it means that we are still carrying some of that sin forward with us into another lifetime. We do not want another birth, far more to carry forward sin into another birth. So when Appaji tells us to do something, let us do it. Let us do it wholeheartedly. He does not stand to gain from our sadhana. We are the ones who do.
And one sadhana which Appaji again and again instructs that we engage in is Divya Nama Sankirtanam. So everyone, please open the Bhajanmala app or website to Bhajan ID number 720 and join in this Rama Bhajan offering.
The beautiful, beautiful Pallavi of this bhajan says, "May my mind serve Lord Rama. May the illusion that engulfs my mind be destroyed. May I transform into a form untouched by mere illusions, and through this may I achieve supreme liberation."
What a bhajan! Listeners, once again, the Bhajan ID number is 720. Please do sing along.
श्रीरामं चित्तं भजतु
श्रीरामं चित्तं भजतु
तन्माया रूपं गिलतु
तन्माया रूपं गिलतु
निर्माया निर्मायं सद्रूपं धरतु
निर्मायं सद्रूपं धरतु
निरतिशयं मे मोक्षं भवतु
निरतिशयं मे मोक्षं भवतु
श्रीरामं चित्तं भजतु
श्रीरामं चित्तं भजतु
तन्माया रूपं गिलतु
तन्माया रूपं गिलतु
रविकुलतिलक कविकुलहृदय
कविकुलतिलक कविकुलहृदय
तामसवासन मपनय त्वरया
तामसवासनमपनय त्वरया
मोहदमोहितमुग्धमनोमयि शोधय संसाराब्धिं तारय
शोधय संसाराब्धिं तारय
श्रीरामं चित्तं भजतु
श्रीरामं चित्तं भजतु
तन्माया रूपं गिलतु
तन्माया रूपं गिलतु
श्रीरामं चित्तं भजतु
श्रीरामं चित्तं भजतु
राजवर प्रवर श्रीप्रियकर
राजवर प्रवर श्रीप्रियकर
राजसवासित कर्म समुद्धर
राजसवासित कर्म समुद्धर
रागजलोभं द्वेषज क्रोधं
रागजलोभं द्वेषज क्रोधं
दाहय दुष्फलमाबीजम्
दाहय दुष्फलमाबीजम्
श्रीरामं चित्तं भजतु
श्रीरामं चित्तं भजतु
तन्माया रूपं गिलतु
तन्माया रूपं गिलतु
श्रीरामं चित्तं भजतु
श्रीरामं चित्तं भजतु
सज्जन सत्वर साधित सदया
सज्जन सत्वर साधित सदया
सत्वगुणं परिणामय कृपया
सत्त्वगुणं परिणामय कृपया
श्रावित ब्रह्मणि ज्ञानं प्रापय
श्रावित ब्रह्मणि ज्ञानं प्रापय
निर्गुण सच्चिदानन्दं दापय
निर्गुण सच्चिदानन्दं दापय
श्रीरामं चित्तं भजतु
श्रीरामं चित्तं भजतु
तन्माया रूपं गिलतु
तन्माया रूपं गिलतु
निर्मायं सद्रूपं धरतु
निर्मायं सद्रूपं धरतु
निरतिशयं मे मोक्षं भवतु
निरतिशयं मे मोक्षं भवतु
श्रीरामं चित्तं भजतु
श्रीरामं चित्तं भजतु
That bhajan is, without doubt, a divine song. You were just listening to the bhajan's composer, Ganapati Swamiji, as he rendered that plea and tribute to Lord Rama here on Datta Arpnam. Today you have been hearing that after Sumedha and her husband performed the expiatory rituals to atone for her husband's past sins, all his diseases disappeared.
The couple was immensely grateful to Vishnu Datta, who had guided them on what to do to overcome the husband's ill health. Now, when all the rituals and observances had been completed, the couple, showing us how we too should behave, invited Vishnu Datta to their house and hosted him with devotion for 3 days.
And listeners, this does not mean that every time someone helps you out, you have to have them stay at your house for 3 days. That's not what is actually being taught here. Instead, the lesson is gratitude. Show appreciation. Whether it is to the person who gave you a chance to take a spot in front of him on the road, or the person who saves your life, always show gratitude. Even if it is just a prayer for them to be blessed, show gratitude.
And with that, everyone, we pray that Datta Prabhu's blessings will be with each and every one of you as we now begin to wrap up today's episode of Datta Arpanam.
Pranams and gratitude are offered at the divine feet of beloved Sadgurudeva, Paramapujya Sri Ganapati Satchidananda Swamiji and Sri Datta Vijayananda Tirtha Swamiji, without whose teachings, compassion, love, guidance and music, this program would not exist.
Pranams to you, Puja Appaji and Sri Swamiji. Kindly forgive any errors which may have been committed in preparing or in sharing today's episode of Datta Arpanam, and please guide us to avoid such errors in the future.
Special thanks are extended to the staff at 103.1 FM and to the sponsors of Datta Arpanam: Valini's Drug Mart Limited, Ramlal Educational Institute, Debe Supermart Limited, and Kokie Supermart Limited. And of course, dear listener, an extra special thank you is extended to you for sharing this devotional hour with us.
If you would like to listen to today's program again, check out the Datta Arpanam Facebook page, where by tomorrow night, the YouTube link for today's episode will be shared.
Once again, everyone, thank you for tuning in today. You are invited to please tune in to 103.1 FM again next Sunday at 6 a.m. Atlantic Standard Time for another episode of Datta Arpanam, a showcase of the life, music and teachings of His Holiness Paramapujya Sri Ganapati Satchidananda Swamiji.
Jai Guru Datta.
Shri Guru Datta. Harihi Om Tat Sat.
ಸುವರ್ಚಲಾಂಬ ಪ್ರಾಣದೇವ ಗಂಧಮಾದನ ಪರ್ವತವಾಸ ಸುವರ್ಚಲಾಂಬ ಪ್ರಾಣದೇವ ಗಂಧಮಾದನ ಪರ್ವತವಾಸ ಸುವರ್ಚಲಾಂಬ ಪ್ರಾಣದೇವ ಗಂಧಮಾದನ ಪರ್ವತವಾಸ ಸುವರ್ಚಲಾಂಬ ಪ್ರಾಣದೇವ ಗಂಧಮಾದನ ಪರ್ವತವಾಸ ರಾಮ ಮಂತ್ರವೇ ನಿನ್ನಯ ಪ್ರಾಣ ನಿನ್ನ ಮಂತ್ರವೇ ನನ್ನಯ ಜೀವ ರಾಮ ಮಂತ್ರವೇ ನಿನ್ನಯ ಪ್ರಾಣ ನಿನ್ನ ಮಂತ್ರವೇ ನನ್ನಯ ಜೀವ ಸುವರ್ಚಲಾಂಬ ಪ್ರಾಣದೇವ ಗಂಧಮಾದನ ಪರ್ವತವಾಸ ಗಂಧಮಾದನ ಪರ್ವತವಾಸ ವಿಶ್ವರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಗರ ದಾಟಿದೆ ಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮ ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ಲಂಕೆಲಿ ತಿರುಗಿದೆ ವಿಶ್ವರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಗರ ದಾಟಿದೆ ಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮ ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ಲಂಕೆಲಿ ತಿರುಗಿದೆ ಪವನ ಪುತ್ರನೇ ನಿನಗೆ ವಂದನೆ ಭಕ್ತರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಕಾರ್ಯಸಿದ್ಧಿನಿ ಪವನ ಪುತ್ರನೇ ನಿನಗೆ ವಂದನೆ ಭಕ್ತರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಕಾರ್ಯಸಿದ್ಧಿನಿ ಸುವರ್ಚಲಾಂಬ ಪ್ರಾಣದೇವ ಗಂಧಮಾದನ ಪರ್ವತವಾಸ ಸುವರ್ಚಲಾಂಬ ಪ್ರಾಣದೇವ ಗಂಧಮಾದನ ಪರ್ವತವಾಸ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರನ ಹೃದಯದಿ ಧರಿಸಿದೆ ರೋಮ ರೋಮದಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಮನ ಹೆಸರೇ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರನ ಹೃದಯದಿ ಧರಿಸಿದೆ ರೋಮ ರೋಮದಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಮನ ಹೆಸರೇ ನಾದಯೋಗಿಗೆ ನಂಬಿದೆ ನಿನ್ನ ಸಚ್ಚಿದಾನಂದನ ಗಾನ ಪ್ರಿಯನೇ ನಾದಯೋಗಿಗೆ ನಂಬಿದೆ ನಿನ್ನ ಸಚ್ಚಿದಾನಂದನ ಗಾನ ಪ್ರಿಯನೇ ಸುವರ್ಚಲಾಂಬ ಪ್ರಾಣದೇವ ಗಂಧಮಾದನ ಪರ್ವತವಾಸ ಸುವರ್ಚಲಾಂಬ ಪ್ರಾಣದೇವ ಗಂಧಮಾದನ ಪರ್ವತವಾಸ ಗಂಧಮಾದನ ಪರ್ವತವಾಸ ಗಂಧಮಾದನ ಪರ್ವತವಾಸ 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 ಓಂ ಶಾಂತಿ 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 ಹರಿ ಓಂ ತತ್ಸತ್